In sim battles, by an incredible set of coincidences, optics is placed not in a cannon itself, so there is a problem with aiming at close distances. And in order to solve this problem, there are sim sights. Really, just look how cool this is. We measure, aim, and... boom. Headshot. Pick a tank you need, put it in a slot and go into settings. In settings you seek for Use Alternative Side Grid tab, after pressing which you choose Add a Grid Side. Afterwards, name of the tank's freshly created folder is displayed. Go to the game directory, use the sides, sort by data, the vehicles you need are atop. Then toss there all 3 BLK files from the archive in the video description. Start up an arcade test drive. Open settings, switch on camera from tank gunner's side, press restart or else you may encounter a glitch causing trajectory to curve. Now select the type of the grid. AP and AP3 are for armor-piercing shells. Those are best for World War II tanks or heat shells. Bless you. For APDS shells, of course. Rename the file straight away. For my convenience, I name them as sim tank name. Press Alt F9 to reload the site and choose it in settings again, now with a new name. Some advice before we start. The code is very sensitive to all sorts of typos, so pay attention to brackets. We have 3 blocks in total: text, circles and lines, and if you don't do anything unusual, you must always have 2 closing brackets in a row at the end of each block. If you want to make a note, do it with a double slash, otherwise the cut will not work. Let's see how it works on Conqueror's example. Numbers are too large, so we tune down font size and line size a little. Much better. Cut out all the distances up to 1000, they make no use in this game mode anyway. Right away we change center line height so it doesn't hinder us for now. Considering that the optics is on the left, current position of the numbers overlaps a little, so fix them. 10 looks a little off in my opinion, so we look at this block and mirror change every sentence. By the way, all marks up to 3000 might also be removed. Oops, an error, messed up in the code somewhere. Done. Now we are looking for the circle block and starting to make notes for distances important to ourselves. Kong has a disgusting zoom, but excellent ballistics, so we set the numbers from 500 to 1000. Copy the entire circle block and for our own convenience replace 0 with 500. The first number in pose line is for horizontal coordinate. Plus means the right, minus is for the left. For the second number, plus is for below and minus is for above. We need to make it left and lower. And so, this is it. Set the numbers, Alt-Tab, check how are things, Alt-Tab, fix, Alt-Tab, and so on and so forth till the end. A lot of people don't see the importance of 20 meters marks. While 20 meter mark is on the same level as the ground or an obstacle, there is a high chance to simply waste a shot. Circles are done with. Now it's time to set up the numbers marks. I usually copy the block of circles and paste it into the block of text, so that I don't have to constantly scroll up to check with the coordinates. Copy the coordinate of a circle and paste it into text, mend the height a little, change the size of a number. Nothing particularly new. A needless duplicated block of circles can be deleted. Considering that 20 meters and 50 meters are extremely close distances, numbers can be made bigger. Now for the lines. Duplicate the block of circles again and paste it into the block of lines. Here we need to verify the trajectories. Our projectile converges at the mark of 1000 and then travels beyond the center line. Since the projectile does not fall straight down, we duplicate the first line and adjust the trajectory. Fixed. Time to remember that I wanted to count out marks up to 3000. The main line can be cut too in the meantime. The rest may come in handy for hash. Here you do just like on your first classes of maths. Take the coordinates from the circles and start making the curve, where every new line starts from a coordinate of a previous line. You may actually want to draw a line from 500 to 1000, but considering zoom, it is better to leave empty space. Now, if desired, you can adjust the rangefinder. Open the archive, search for the rangefinder file, find 3000 on the right side, because free space needed is on the right side, and copy-paste all this stuff. Remember to not mess up with brackets. Of course, rangefinder's number size also need to be adjusted. You can also drag the position of the measured distance or input. All lines are commented. Congratulations, our site is done. Now it's time for the text. Unfortunately, War Thunder is no game without bugs, so our arcade marker stops working properly with tanks with laser rangefinder on board, even if it's not researched. Trajectories in sim and arcade game modes are just not the same. And of course, when this video has already been done, turned out that there is yet another thing that just doesn't work. Who would have thought? If you don't have laser rangefinder researched, then you have one trajectory. If researched, then you have completely different one. That means you have to have 3 sites. For heat, APDS and APDS with rangefinder. Again, such problems only appear when using tanks with laser rangefinder. If one doesn't have it in their researchment table, then from the first time, in all game modes, everything works fine. In bug report section of the forum, I was told that everything is working as intended, so no one is out there to help us. Open control settings once again. Type input into search field, open the tab, and there we need site distance control. Open it up and set the key for reset axis value. From now on, every time you get into a fight with laser, aim at the sky, in other words measure, and then press the reset key in order to avoid various glitches. This time we start in sim, so the trajectory becomes correct. I have no idea why, but the tanks are placed at 280, 520, 780 and 1020 meters. So 20 meters of difference. We want our site to be correct, so we go backwards at the exact same 20 meters, so distances would be 300, 540 and 800. Shoot at tanks on 300 and 800. Set the numbers. Restart mission and this time move 20 meters forward and set numbers for 500 and, if needed, 1000. I usually have 400 meters difference between marks, so 1000 marks are no use for me. But I will decrease to 100 meters from each game's self-made mark. In sim, the game doesn't let us measure less than 200 meters, so we go back to arcade and create circles for 50 and 200 meters. Inaccuracy is not that dramatic at this range, so fix them up as you want. Most importantly, once again, as soon as you spawn, while aiming at the sky, press the button to measure the distance. Further, we apply the same for Conqueror. Set numbers, lines, rangefinders, etc. And of course, there's an option for true gamers. Open description, open link, download War Thunder CDK, installed into game folder, while installing Unguide and Unaware node. Everything went just fine, now we see 3 shortcuts. These 2 I don't need, so I can delete them. In already downloaded archive you can find User Missions. Place it in main game folder. Launch Mission Editor. Says I'm a moron. In this case, read what error says and move War Thunder CDK folder from War Thunder dev folder. Yet the first time I did this, there was no error. It's nice. Cancel the first window. In Mission Editor tab, press Load Mission. We need to find the file Test Flight Tank Italy inside User Missions folder. Now press these 2 buttons. Select Armada 01, the list of units comes up. Select a tank you want, open up Weapons and Bullets menu. Select the only available weapon, and bullets select shells. Ammo packs we don't need. Bullet 0 is always a stock shell, so you can leave it as it is. In case of Abrams, it is heat. Now open Modifications block and decide whether you want to make a site for a tank with unresearched rangefinder or for a fully upgraded one with APDS. If you need a site only for a fully upgraded vehicle, set on Modern Tank Laser Rangefinder. If for a stock one, set on Nothing. Also, if you want spread to be lesser, set on Horizontal, Vertical Aiming and New Gun. Done! Press Exit, agree with everything, launch the game. We finally press User Missions, Custom Sites, launch Wonder Mission. Select enemy we want by shooting at it with a coaxial gun, after which it spawns 100 meters away from us. By pressing Q and E keys, the enemy moves 100 meters closer or further. And that's all. Land shots mark the place where a tank was hit. With tanks without laser rangefinder, you can even launch it in arcade game mode. Your movement is unnecessary and changing enemy tank's distance takes milliseconds. So, what I was leading to. Please upload stuff you created on WT Live and separate posts for each grid, for packs with a bunch of dead grids suck ass. Personally, I'm not really fond of sites like this one, and there are no others on Live. They are usually either ugly, don't work, or obscure view. I would like you to stick to minimalism. I bring the great burden of responsibility upon you. And don't forget to switch off view from gunner, or gameplay will suddenly become very funny.